Across the United States, entire towns once thrived with life, families, and stories. Today, many of them have vanished completely. In this video, we explore then and now images of U.S. towns that no longer exist. Rhyolite, Nevada. Founded in 1905 during a gold rush, Rhyolite quickly grew into a booming desert town with electric lights, railroads, a hospital, and up to 5,000 residents. Backed by major investment, it briefly rivaled larger cities before collapsing just as fast. Declining ore quality, the 1906 San Francisco earthquake, and the 1907 financial panic drained funding, forcing the main mine to close in 1911. By 1920, the population had nearly vanished. Today, scattered ruins, including a depot and bottle house, stand as haunting reminders of its rapid rise and fall, while its stark desert setting near Death Valley adds to its eerie, cinematic appeal, drawing visitors and filmmakers alike, preserving its ghostly legacy in the American West. Roosevelt, Idaho. Roosevelt was founded during the early 1900s Thunder Mountain Gold Rush and briefly became the region's main mining town. Its growth was short-lived. In 1909, a massive mudslide blocked Monumental Creek, flooding the valley and destroying the settlement. As Roosevelt Lake formed, buildings were submerged and residents forced to relocate. The town was never rebuilt, and today it exists only underwater and in historical records of Idaho's lost mining era. Animas Forks, Colorado. Sitting at 11,200 feet in the San Juan Mountains, Animas Forks was one of the highest mining camps in the American West. Its harsh elevation meant residents often migrated to Silverton each winter, leaving the town exposed to brutal storms. In 1884, a 23-day blizzard buried the settlement under nearly 25 feet of snow, forcing residents to tunnel between buildings. Mining decline in the 1890s triggered an exodus, though a brief revival came with the Gold Prince Mill in 1904. When it shut down in 1910, Animas Forks was abandoned. Today, only around 10 wooden structures remain, preserved against a dramatic alpine backdrop. Bodie, California. Founded in 1859 as a rough mining camp, Bodie exploded into one of the Wild West's most notorious boom towns after rich gold strikes in the 1870s. At its peak, thousands lived among saloons, gambling halls, and lawless streets where violence was common. But as gold dwindled, Bodie began a steady decline. Its newspaper shut down in 1912. The railway was abandoned by 1918, and the final mine closed in 1942 as wartime demands redirected resources. Left frozen in time, Bodie never fully disappeared. Today, around 110 weathered buildings still stand in a state of arrested decay, offering visitors a haunting, remarkably intact glimpse into California's gold rush past, with interiors still filled with relics. Santa Claus, Arizona. Established in the late 1930s along U.S. Route 93, Santa Claus, Arizona was a quirky Christmas-themed roadside town designed to attract tourists and families. It featured festive attractions, a post office, and even a chance to meet Santa. But interest faded over time, and by 1995 it was abandoned. Today, only decaying buildings remain, including a vandalized pink train and a broken wishing well hidden in the desert. St. Elmo, Colorado. Founded in the 1880s amid Colorado's booming gold and silver rush, St. Elmo quickly grew into a lively mountain town with more than 2,000 residents, bustling streets, hotels, and a busy rail connection. But as ore quality declined toward the end of the decade, fortunes faded just as quickly. A brief revival in the 1910s offered hope, yet it proved short-lived, and by 1936, mining operations ceased for good. Unlike many ghost towns, St. Elmo never fully vanished. A few residents still live among its remarkably preserved wooden buildings, while its scenic alpine setting now draws summer tourists eager to experience one of Colorado's most authentic and atmospheric remnants of the Old West. Centralia, Pennsylvania. A coal seam fire started beneath Centralia in 1962 after a landfill burn spread into old mine tunnels and couldn't be extinguished. The underground fire has burned ever since, causing sinkholes, toxic gases, and unsafe ground that forced residents to leave. Attempts to stop it failed, and in 1992, most homes were condemned. A few residents remain, but the town is nearly empty today, with scientists warning the fire could continue for centuries underground. Berlin, Nye County, Nevada. Founded in the 1880s by German prospectors chasing gold, Berlin quickly grew into a busy mining camp with mills, homes, and a tight-knit workforce carved into Nevada's harsh desert. But labor disputes and falling profits led to the mine's closure by the 1910s, and the town was abruptly abandoned. Unlike many ghost towns, Berlin never decayed into ruin. Today, its weathered wooden buildings still stand inside Berlin Ichthyosaur State Park, preserved almost exactly as they were left. The site gained new significance after massive ichthyosaur fossils were discovered nearby, adding prehistoric history to this already frozen-in-time settlement. Ashcroft, Colorado. Ashcroft was founded in 1880 during Colorado's silver boom and quickly grew into a mining town of hundreds. When the silver ran out, most residents left within just a few years, reducing it to a near ghost town by the 1880s. A brief revival attempt came in the 1930s with ski resort plans, but World War II ended development. Abandoned again by 1939, Ashcroft now survives as preserved ruins open to visitors. Silver City, Idaho. Founded during the 1860s silver rush, Silver City grew into a thriving mining hub with about 2,500 residents, 12 ore mills, and over 250 active mines at its peak between 1863 and 1865. Unlike many boom towns, it never fully disappeared. As mining declined, most residents left, but many of its original buildings were left standing rather than demolished. Today, around 75 historic structures survive, making it one of the best preserved ghost towns in the United States. The century-old Idaho Hotel still operates seasonally, retaining much of its original character, offering visitors a rare, almost untouched glimpse into Idaho's mining-era past. Garnet, Granite County, Montana. In the 1890s, Garnet was one of Montana's liveliest gold rush towns, home to over 1,000 residents, bustling businesses, and as many as 13 saloons serving miners flush with cash. Wooden storefronts lined its muddy streets, and the town pulsed with frontier energy. But as World War I drew workers away and gold production slowed, Garnet began to fade. A brief revival in the 1930s couldn't save it, and by World War II it was abandoned for good. Today, around 30 structures still stand, carefully preserved, and during annual events like Garnet Day, visitors can step directly into this remarkably intact ghost town's past. Kennecott, Valdez, Cordova, Alaska. Established in 1903, Kennecott rose deep in the Alaskan wilderness as a booming copper mining hub, driven by soaring demand during the electrification era. At its peak, it featured schools, hospitals, and a towering mill processing some of the richest ore ever found. But by 1938, the copper was depleted and the entire town was suddenly abandoned, left to the elements. For decades, it stood silent, its massive red buildings slowly weathering against the mountains. Today, Kennecott has been partially restored and draws visitors eager to explore its haunting remains, offering a rare glimpse into a once thriving industrial outpost reclaimed by nature. Thurmond, West Virginia. Founded in 1900, Thurmond became a vital Chesapeake and Ohio railway hub, transporting coal through the New River Gorge. At its peak, it had hotels, saloons, and a busy depot filled with travelers and freight. But as coal demand fell and rail traffic declined, the town rapidly emptied. Today, Thurmond is nearly deserted inside the national park, with its preserved depot now serving as a visitor center surrounded by silent, abandoned streets. Bannack, Montana. Established in 1862 following a major gold discovery, Bannack rapidly transformed into a thriving frontier town and even served briefly as Montana's first territorial capital. At its height, nearly 10,000 people populated the surrounding area, chasing dreams of quick fortune. However, by 1870, easily accessible gold had been exhausted, triggering a sharp population decline. A short-lived revival came in the late 19th century with new dredging technology, but it wasn't enough to sustain the community long-term. By the 1940s, Bannack was abandoned. Today, around 60 well-preserved structures remain, offering a striking, immersive glimpse into early Western settlement and boom and bust mining life. Cahaba, Alabama. Once the first capital of Alabama, Cahaba sat between two rivers, making it prone to relentless seasonal flooding. Despite early political importance and later growth as a cotton trading hub, the town's fate was repeatedly shaped by water. After the capital moved in 1826, Cahaba slowly declined, but briefly revived during the Civil War as the site of Castle Morgan, a Confederate prison for Union soldiers. A major flood in 1865 forced another mass abandonment, and residents never truly returned. By the early 1900s, most buildings had vanished, with only ruins remaining after later floods and decay. Today, it survives as one of Alabama's most atmospheric ghost towns,